a solution, they show face. Lady Mary, they lead the way. With guess where go blow your brain. Talk your matter, make we solve 'em. No judgment, just love and wisdom. We did discuss, we did learn. Every episode you go feel the burn. Oh, the chat room. Now here we define the way. Oh, the chat room. Oh yes. We go talk and clear, no delay. No delay. Oh, it's interactive, educative, informative, and unapologetic. Oh, the chat room. We unstoppable, no be lie. You, hey, the chat room. Hey, now here we define the way. The chat room. We go talk and play, no delay, no delay. It's interactive, educative, informative, and unapologetic.
It will help for me to put myself out of mute. All right. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the chat room show once again. Another Sunday, December, our first chat of the month. I am very excited about this month's topic. It's going to be very insightful, educational, and a good conversation. So I am so excited. I'm very excited when I'm put with people that are younger than me that can teach me a whole lot and make me feel young and vibrant. So I'm very excited. We have today with us, and I'll have you all introduce yourself. We have two beautiful young ladies with us, and then we have our handsome gentleman with us. I'll have you all go ahead and introduce yourself. Our topic for today, we are talking about bridging, actually our topic for the month rather. We are talking about bridging the gap, lessons learned from past, present, and future, what's upcoming. So I'll go ahead and have, since we only have one gentleman amongst us, we will do gentleman first.
Hi, well, I'm Derek Williams. What can I say? I'm originally from West Africa, Sierra Leone. I moved to the States about 10 years ago. So, yeah, in my field of career, I did civil engineering in college. Um, of course, I'm a lover of God. And I'll say quick facts about myself is I know how to play an instrument. So those are the full cool.
Which instrument?
I play the drums, the bass, and piano.
You said an instrument. That is
I didn't want to say all of it,
instrument.
but yes.
All right. And your first name is Jericho, you said?
Derek Williams.
Derek. Okay. Nice to meet you, Derek. It's exciting to have you. All right. We'll go ahead with Miss Eunice.
Hello, everyone. My name is Eunice. I also go by Tiwa. I'm currently a nursing school student, and God willingly, I'll be done next year. I wish I could play an instrument, but I do sing. I love everything music.
Yes, you do. Very good one as that.
And that's me.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'll go ahead and hand it over to Miss Tracy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tracy. I am a student at Kent State University. I'm majoring in business management, and I'm excited to be here today. And fun fact, I'm also a singer as well, and I sing with Eunice. Yeah.
All right. Okay, go ahead, Miss Mary, and take over if we can hear you.
Hi.
All right.
All right. No, let's go ahead. You already started. Everybody know who I am. Hello, everyone. I'm hoping that we'll have an exciting conversation. But Nania, take over.
All right. So, like I said, today, let me see what generation we all fit. What am I considered? A millennial? Yeah, I think I fall into a millennial from 1981 to like maybe early 90s, I think. Um, so where does everybody fall? What generation do you all fall, Mr. Derek?
I'm
I
Gen
think
You
Z.
they're
know?
all Z, right?
Yeah, Gen Z.
They're all Gen Zs.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. And I go. I guess you're with me.
Yeah.
Well, at least I have you. So it's not it's not one against three. All right.
Yeah.
So to begin, since everybody here it's basically an adult, I want to ask the young people in your adulthood right now, is it everything that you expected it to be? How is adulthood going so far? What is the likes and dislikes? Any experiences that you can say, well, I'm glad that I'm an adult to be able to do this? And what experiences would you say that, I wish that, I still have my parents to kind of take care of some stuff and do some things that, I'm not required to do as an adult? I'll start with Mr. Derek.
Um, so yeah, adulthood is nothing like you expect when you're growing up. Um, I'm a last born, so I was kind of spoiled when I was growing up, and then I got a little bit older, and I get to realize like, oh man, you have to pay bills and you have to do all these things. So yeah, adulthood for me has been it has been, I wouldn't say challenging, but it has been a new experience where I'm slowly learning things every day. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I have, community around me that tells me about what the next steps are, or give me guidance on what to do next. But it's been a learning experience. One thing I would say is God is really the center of it, because as you're learning this new experience, you sometimes fall and you get up again, you fall and you get up again, and you get to learn new things. But if you have God inside of you and you have a representation of people or family or good people around you, I think it could be a better experience. So I'm grateful to be an adult, but as we say in our local language where I'm from, we say adulthood na scam. So we just basically, it means like it's a scam growing up. This is not what it's been represented. Because when you're a kid, you see, all the guys or you see the girls have cars, and you see they have all these nice things. So you grow up and you want to be like, well, I want to be one of those people, but you don't know what it requires and what it takes to be that. So, yeah, that's what I have to say about adulthood from my experience.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Miss Tracy.
For me, I would say adulthood is not what it was all made out to be, or at least what I thought it would be. When like growing up, seeing older people, I'm like, "Ugh, I can't wait to be an adult. I'll have freedom. I'll do whatever I want." But it's not all that it's made out to be. Being an adult, it comes with its own difficulties. Having to figure things out yourself. I mean, obviously you have guidance from older people, your parents, but it is like a big adjustment. And I sometimes I find myself still struggling between like, you're an adult, but I still feel like I'm still a child sometimes. And then I find myself in situations where you like, my dad has to remind me you're an adult. This is something you have to do yourself. I can't always be there, but I feel like nobody or nothing can really prepare you for the adult life. But so far, so good. We're taking it day by day.
Miss Eunice.
Definitely agree with both of you. Adulthood is not like the movies. I thought I was gonna be in High School Musical. This is not High School Musical. um, I would definitely say that it is a learning process, because there's some things it's like, okay, wait, mommy, I'm your baby, but you're not a baby anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Even like small things such as school, you would think that, oh, mommy, please help me pay for my tuition, but you have to realize that you're getting older. You got to pay for your own tuition. It's hard. It's hard.
But I would say when it comes to our community, I think even though you are really considered an adult, you're still seen, at least on my level. I think, and when my children are probably like 30, I'm still going to see them as, you know, kids. as kids. Your parents are always here to step in, like you're talking about the tuition. It's our community. It's um, in such a way that we continue to take care of the generation until we feel like you're set, right? Whereas in other cultures, once you're 18, you're on your own and you need to figure out things for yourself. So even though you may see it as, oh, I'm not really ready to do this, or I'm an adult, I should go ahead and take care of this, your parents are probably like, it's okay, I got you, we'll help you out, which kind of make the journey a little bit easier, right? It makes it a little bit easier. Am I correct? Is that across board,
It
or
sure
are
does.
some of you like independent, very independent on your own? It's across the board. Okay. So, do you have anything to add, lady?
No, let's go ahead.
Okay. So I will say that what is one, I'll ask that what is one advice that maybe a parent or a parent figure gave you that you did not take, but as you are an adult or as you are right now, young adult, that you wish that you could go back on um, and do better or take that advice? Do y'all have anybody? Anybody can go ahead because I can see y'all thinking. So any one of you can go ahead.
I'll go if that's okay. Um, I would definitely say when I was younger, my parents are always, Eunice, make sure you're focusing on your books. Make sure your books is your first love. Make sure your books is this. When I hit high school, I don't think I fell in love with my books. And so I wish I did, because there's certain things that you need your books for. Like, you need to study, you need to pay attention in class, and there are certain times where you don't, and then you have to face the consequences. But I would say that's the biggest one off the top of my mind that I can think of.
So you wish you had done better in school and listened and
Yeah,
paid attention to your books more.
I wish I did like 100 times. Not eight, that's a big number. Wait, maybe like 3 times more than I did, because yeah, I think that would have helped. Yeah, and I think that listening to the whole school thing is hard, because it's like you want to go out, you want to have fun, you want to party, but the, the partying is not going to be on your side when you're in college struggling. So yeah, I would say definitely the whole school and books part and education.
Piggybacking on that, do you feel that when you were in your parents' home, I don't know where you guys are now, but when you're in college, you have more autonomy, you have more control over your schedule. You want to wake. Nobody's there to wake you up. I know when I went to college, literally nobody was there to wake me up.
Hmm.
So I had to make sure that I woke myself up, be responsible enough to go to classes, to do what I'm supposed to do, because no parent is there to instruct you. Because when you were home and the parents were there to instruct you, you couldn't wait to leave so you can be your own person, right?
Hmm.
Are y'all feeling that I wish I was home for somebody to wake me up and tell me it's time to go to class, Tracy?
Nana, so I know that Derek, before they come, I know that Derek is out of college now, but at least he can speak to it.
Oh, he went. So I've been out of college
Yes,
since
speak
like
from,
the early
yeah.
2000s. So
Yeah.
he
Ooh.
can still speak to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was going to say something about laziness. One thing well, I wouldn't say I did not listen, because at the end I did, but one thing they kind of just pounded in my head was, you have to be hardworking. You don't have to be lazy. Um, my mom just used to wake me up every Saturday to clean the house, or, just like wake me up to study. Those things at that time, I did not like it.
You
I
take
was
it for
really tired
granted.
against it. But when I moved to the States and I started going to college and started going to school, I just realized it became easier for me to do it than other people, because I got the foundation. So yeah, one thing I would say, what advice I would say is hard work. You know, that hard work, you have to be hardworking as a young man, as a young woman growing up. I think it's only just gonna make you prosper even quicker. You know, you spend maybe 5 years or 6 years in school, but if you spend that time being hard work and diligence in your school, it would just make you better. So for me, I would say hard work. That's what I would say.
That's good. Tracy?
For me, I feel like I agree with what Eunice said. Growing up, one thing my parents stressed was the importance of education. You know, like growing up, I remember when they would like tell me to sit down, read a book, do this, do assignments. I would cry and think I'm being punished for it. And I remember, they'll always say, it's not for me, it's for you. You're not doing me, it's for you. And growing up now, just like Eunice said, I feel like if I listened and I did more, I feel like, I'd be better. I'm not saying I'm not there. I'm still good, but I feel like I'd be, wiser now. I'd be smarter now, because you never stop learning. You can never stop learning. But yeah, education was something to stress. And also, like he said, hard work. My parents always said, you can't be lazy. Laziness is not going to get you anywhere. You always have to be hardworking. If you want, me telling them, oh, I want my own house, I want to own my own car. They're like, if you want all those things, you're going to need to, first of all, education will get you there. And then also, you have to be hardworking. So those two combo will give you success as a as a result. But yeah, that's what I had to say about that.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that's all very good, and I hope we have some young people who are listening, because sometimes it comes across better when it comes from people who are closer to your age. Because I remember when I actually after undergrad in graduate school, I after I was done with graduate, I was like, I, I'm really smart. If I had applied myself a little better in undergrad, I
You would
would
have
have
been.
been like, if I had just do even more than the bare minimum,
Mhm.
you know. But because I was on my own and I wanted to be an adult and enjoy, the parties and, the extra stuff, and stay up too late to, study for my exam, and get up in the morning at 8 o'clock trying to read my book and look through, and then go and then fail or not get a good grade, but when I was in graduate school and I actually applied myself, I was like, I could have really done better.
Mhm.
It didn't take a whole, it just took a little bit of applying,
Try
and
effort.
just being disciplined. And that's hard for us to do when you freshly leave the home, and there's just so much, the world is so big, you trying to do everything, you're trying to get all these experiences, so it's not, I mean, y'all are still young, so just a little, advice to just apply yourself a little bit, even when you're out of school, for work and all that. Just apply yourself a little bit more than you're doing right now. Just a
Yeah.
little. Go ahead,
I
man.
think I think that sometimes we don't really. I mean, when you're young, like they're saying, is you are really focused about the partying, and it's not. It's the influence, the external influences, because you see your friends are doing it. So
You don't
why
want to
can
miss
you?
out. You want to be a part of the action.
Right, you want to be part of it, you don't want to be left out. And so sometimes when parents are talking, or and African parents, of course, we're gonna hammer and hammer and hammer and hammer. I mean, so because it sounds like we are nagging. And so I've been there before, and I think this is a good conversation, because we have all been there before. Though we are from different generations, we've all experienced it, and we've actually felt the after effect of not taking advice, certain advice. And should I say we are living in regret? No, we thank God that at least we're able to pick up our pieces, and try to do better for ourselves. But the goal, the end result is, if we would take some of these advices when we were young, or if we would have taken some of these advices when we were young, now the journey would have been a bit smoother, Dan. We're
Yeah,
not saying that challenges wouldn't come; they'll definitely come. But but then at this point, you would have mastered the art of being able to knowing how to handle certain situations before they come to you. So that's just the little I want to add. Derek, I want to
Yeah.
ask this. You said that, so you grew, so Derek is from Sierra Leone, right, Derek?
Yes.
Yes. And so you're saying that back then, now, do you think that things were different? Because I know your parents are not here, right? How
Right.
were things different with your parents being there back in Sierra Leone to where they were constantly telling you what to do versus you finding yourself, maybe all alone or without your parents' guidance in the States?
It was a rough experience, to be honest. I remember the first day I came here my junior year in high school, and the first day I went to school, I was crying like I want to go back. I missed my parents, I missed everything back. So it was a tough experience, but I think it shaped my life a lot because I didn't have the comfort that I used to have, when I was back home with my parents. It pushed me to just a little bit grow a little bit more tougher. You got to take life a little bit more serious now. You have no mommy or daddy to cry to. Now you have to be a man on your own. But in terms of how I navigated my life, I thank God for the people that I had around me. The family that I used to live with really just made sure that I had a good community where I had no bad friends. I didn't have to go out late. Sometimes I wasn't allowed to go to parties. Like, those things kind of helped me, kind of keep me grounded. Those people around me pushed me harder to read more about the Word of God, to be more diligent in my school, to just be a better man or a better person. So, them leaving us, I was living with my brother and my aunt. Um, it was a tough experience, but it helped shape my life, and I hope everyone, I wouldn't say get to experience it, but have to have that in the back of their head that you have to leave your mom and your daddy, you have to make it on your own, and you have to be diligent in your own self. So yeah, that was my experience.
Yeah, I like that because I asked him that just to say that our parents are not always going to be with us. Our parents are not always going to
Mhm.
be with us, and the good thing is that we want to know, though, that even though we didn't take whatever advices we didn't take, and they may have had a negative effect, we should just know that now what's the way forward. Here we are. We can't go back to the hands of time. So what's the way forward for us? But I totally agree that when your parents are not there, maybe that's why we should start taking advices. But we're not going to be the first. We're not going to be the last. Listen, the other generations that are coming after you guys, they're also going to have to, some of them will have to face this. And so I guess that's why you guys are here, so that Eunice can be the one to be telling her siblings and, um, try to guide them the right, steer them the right direction. Anyway, that's just by the way. But Nania, go ahead.
What Eunice said is still your children to raise. It's not hers.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, but I said that to say at least she's gone through it, so that then she can be an example. I guess is what I'm trying to say. She can be an
Yeah.
example, trying to stir them up. As a mother, I'm gonna be here, but maybe if I'm telling them and they're not listening, I'll say, "Hey, go to Eunice, go and ask Eunice. She has the first-hand experience of what
Experience.
of what it takes not to take advice or instructions, and so go to her." Thank you for joining, Miss Amy. But Nana, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So, what I would ask, we've been asking you all about what adults have to say and all that. What would you tell parents, or if you had the opportunity to give some guidance to any of your parents about, you know, raising you, or some topics that you feel, or even just communication wise, what advice in your current position would you give parents or your parents on doing better? Like, what area would you
Hmm.
um
Nana, before they come in, I just want to say that I've sent the links to everyone to share. So if you haven't been able to, just take a quick pause and just share the link, share it to your contact, share it to your friends so that they can have access to the conversation for tonight. But go ahead. Eunice, can you start since you said,
I sure will start.
first? You can start.
um, I'm not speaking directly about you, mother, but
not
I would
you,
say,
Thank
in
you for joining,
general?
Pastor Pius. Go ahead. Oh, no, I'm good.
I would say as a whole, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. African parents need to stop doing the comparing. The comparing. It's very annoying. I'm sorry. It's very annoying, and it's like at times it can make us feel less than because you may, let's see, school, education, you may have a C or a B. No, look at Diana. She has an A plus plus. That other people learn differently.
Look at the cheesing on Derek's face. Go ahead.
Other people learn differently. We all are different. So the comparing is a really big. Maybe uncles and aunties, let's calm down. I would say another example as the lazy, how Derek said, what do you oh sorry, let me not speak tree. You are so lazy. My sister's daughter, she wakes up 5 a.m., she cleans the house, she cooks for the kids, she does this. Mind you, they're in Africa. We're in the United States. It's a completely different it's different. Okay. So yeah, I would say the comparing. Thank you. Thank you. See, I see somebody says so true.
That's good. That's good. Tracy.
I would say the same thing. The comparing is it can like affect like have an effect on us because like I feel like everybody's different. We're all different people. We all learn differently when it comes to school, And so I feel like even with just having siblings, what worked on one child might not work on the next one. You have to know your child. You have to understand what like your child responds to and how they understand things and stuff like that, so you can better adjust your um, methods to fit them. Another thing I will say is African parents don't really create like a safe space to talk about certain things. I feel like for there's certain topics like when it comes to relationships and just a variety of topics that we don't really feel comfortable going to our parents to talk to
Yep.
because we know how they will react. We're like, my mom
Yep.
would do that, my dad, And I feel like the negative part about that is then it leaves us to go to the outside, go to other people to find things
Mm,
out, and that
mm,
leaves room for people to misinform us and misguide us. When if they had made that open space and safe space, we could have come to them and they let us know, this is what I know about this. This is it. I know it's bad. This is what it is. And then with that knowledge, we do what we want to do. If we make the mistakes, you know. But and another thing is African parents don't they have very high expectations of us, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then I feel like what happens with that is you have very little room to let them down or disappoint them. If you let them down, disappoint them,
You're dead.
anything that is not aligned with their goals or their plans that they had for you is no. It's a problem. But I feel like I've come to realize that mistakes is how we learn. You know, yes, by advising us or whatever it is, like we know you've advised us, we've heard, and we avoid certain mistakes. But there's certain things that we're children, we're kids, we're human. Our parents tell us not to do
You
something,
are not a child.
She's a
young
child.
adult.
but our parents tell us not to do something. But curiosity, we're it's like we're going into adults, we're trying to like experience things, figure things out. Yes, I've heard you, mom and dad, but that part of us wants to go, like experience that. And they do say experience is the best teacher, and so I feel like sometimes they should give us a little room to figure things out ourselves, make the mistake, and then you see what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
now, how as we're talking about what things did they, try to teach us that we regret and we feel like we should have taken later. That's this is something we're supposed to go through. We're supposed to
Yeah.
go through life, experience things, and grow from there. But yeah, that's what I'd say about that.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
but
good.
before Derek comes in, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube, you are welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Just take a quick second and click the share button. This is our discussion for the entire month. We are looking at the Gen Z, Y, and X, the present, past, and future, the lessons that we've learned, our regrets, and all of that. So it's going to be a very good conversation. As always in the chat room, they are a good conversation, but this is another amazing one. So please, we don't want your friends and your family to miss it. If you have younger ones, please invite them, let them jump on YouTube or Facebook and take a listen. Mr. Derek, please go ahead.
What advice I would give? It's the method of communication. Um, it's sometimes they mean they mean the best thing, but they're not communicating it in the best way. So, um, therapy is a good thing, and I feel like sometimes African parents need to go through therapy to kind of work through.
The parents need therapy.
We all do in our
No,
own way.
yeah,
It's
I
okay,
agree. We
Derek.
need
We got you.
we need therapy after dealing with you guys. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so let's go tomorrow. Yeah.
So they just need to know how to communicate. I've just had experiences not from only my own parents but from other people talking to them, and I try to explain to them that your parent mean they want the best for you, but just how they communicate it is not the best way. So in terms of in the careers, like sometimes our parents want the best for us. If you tell them, "Oh, you want to become a rapper," they're gonna look at you crazy. What are you talking about? But if you communicate well and tell them, "Hey, rapper and music is a good thing, but this is not really a thing for where you can gain money," and just try to encourage them and give them ideas on how to become themselves, because sometimes they want to make them into something that they want them to be, really failing to realize that that's another person. That person isn't himself. He has to grow into what he wants to be. So communicating that is one thing I would admonish our parents, our African parents, to really work on, um, in terms of relationships too. My sister talked about relationships. I don't think it's a thing where in our community we talk about relationships. Um, Sometimes you learn from your friends in school. Most of us learn from our friends about whatever it is on the internet. We don't get that talking
Do
at
you
the
mean like relationships as in like dating and that type of
Yeah.
relationships? Okay.
yes, like dating, right? Romantic relationships. So we don't get that at home. I personally would like for my parents to just ask them questions like, what it is when you had your first boyfriend, or what it is when you had your first girlfriend.
They didn't. They
Sorry?
didn't. They just up their house and went to their marital home.
Yes, exactly. So I'm at a stage in my life I want to navigate that, and I would like to have that conversation with my parents to kind of understand how they did it. So relationships, like our sister said, it's one thing that we need to, because we see divorce rates is really getting high, but it's because we don't have the conversations. And you explain to us what are the lessons that you had from your relationship, and
Mm,
how can we get better from it. So
mm.
those two things I would say is just have a better communication with your kids, and obviously if you're a child here or a younger person, have a good communication with your parent, be respectful, but and also have conversations about romantic relationships, because we all have to grow one day and get into them.
Okay. So
I
let me
think
ask you a
Eunice
question
had
about
something
that.
else to say, Nana.
Sorry. To
This is where
piggy
you're getting all your information from, Eunice.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
to piggyback off of Derek and Tracy, I'm not sure if you two agree. I'm sure you would, but another thing that parents as a whole, like not only Africans, parents as a whole need to work on is the judging and then spreading children's business. Like, oh, my daughter Eunice, come and see what she's done. Da-da-da. And she'll tell the whole world. She'll call A, B, C. She'll call the whole list. And I feel like there's been certain cases where I was like, it's not needed because after that, I don't think I'm going to communicate anything with you again. So that also builds on the communication part and the relationship part with parents. So parents, please, stop spreading your children's business. Just keep it in the home, please.
Yeah.
No spreading of the businesses. Okay, got it. What I wanted to ask is, so do you? How many of you feel comfortable just openly coming to your parent to ask questions? Because going back on Derek's statement about parents talking about relationships, right? So if your parent don't come to you about those type of things, do y'all feel comfortable just going to ask, or like where do you get besides the internet and um peer? Is there any type of other avenues for y'all to get that information?
So Nana, I just want to chime in, if that's okay, before they answer your question.
Mhm.
I and Okay, Auntie Dana said clock it. She sees that you are really giving it to us. We hear you. And yeah. So you know, I said earlier on that we also had our own fair share of, everything we are discussing today. And I remember, and I can share this. I remember growing up in Ghana. I think I was 13 or 14 when I started my menses, right? And I had never had any prior conversation. I mean, my mom never had any conversation with me
Same
about
here.
this. So I remember one day I just woke up and I was really messy. And all my mom said was, okay, did you see what happened? I'm like, what happened? And so here me, I'm freaking out. Then she said was take a pad, take this pennies, go bath and do this and do that. And that was it. That was the first and last time. I mean, literally. So I can understand, and
I
there,
understand.
yeah, I can understand where they're coming from with some of these things. But go ahead, Nana. Let them come in with your question.
Yeah. Do I need to reiterate my question, or did y'all understand what I was trying to
I
say?
got it.
Okay.
I can
Is
answer.
it easy, or do you think that you can openly go to a parent or an auntie or somebody that's like, trustworthy for you to just ask questions that you need answers to?
I think now, as of now, I'm very comfortable with my mom. It took us a lot. It took us a long time to get here, but I'm comfortable with her. I think I would ask her about anything, right about, let's say, 88%. The rest, I don't think I would ask her. I would probably ask my best friend, who is Tracy, or a few church family members that I trust. Um,
What are the rest? What are the rest? I'm just joking.
My question is, why is that though? You cannot retaliate on anything that's said here today.
I was just.
um, I would say it's like that because I genuinely don't know what she will say, and I don't want to try it. So I'll leave it like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Tracy?
I would say the reason why we don't feel comfortable telling them certain things, the fear of, you know, their anger. We don't want their anger. We don't want their
Mm.
disappointment. We
Okay.
don't, it's just the fear of the unknown. Like, oh, I want to ask my mom this, but oh my God, I don't know how she's gonna act. She'll get
Yeah.
angry. I might get in trouble.
Hmm.
So, like Eunice said, growing up too, I am starting to get more comfortable with my mom and asking her certain things. But again, there are certain parts I just don't touch on. And then those parts are the ones that I go off on my own to go ask someone to do my own research about. Um, but yeah, it's definitely just the fear of how they would overreact, or what would happen to you. Sometimes we make jokes when me and Eunice talk, and there's something
Mm.
we need to ask. We make jokes like, I know, I say my dad will cut off my head if I ask him that. You know, but
He will.
it's it's just like, just because
And your dad is watching, by the way. So if
Hey,
you
Uncle John, hello. Uncle, please.
no, but I
Cut
like
off
this.
her
This is
head.
a good conversation. Go ahead.
yeah, I would make just like, Johnny would not like that. He's gonna get mad at
Donate.
and it's from and I think it's also from past experiences. When you're growing up, I do remember, I would ask certain things or whatever, and I'm just like, they just tell me no, you don't ask that. So I get in trouble for that. So it's conditioned me to, think twice about certain things when I'm going to ask my parents about, because I'm like, is it really worth risking my life for it? Or should I just go and ask someone else? And usually
Really?
it's better.
Yes.
Not risking your whole life.
It's
Wow.
true.
Yes.
No,
Life.
it's true because I'm sorry, Tracy, to interrupt, but it's like, if let's say you ask your parent a question and the question is crazy, it's maybe an adult question or whatever, but that one question that upset them will have them talking about the same situation for hours. Like, you'll be in your room and you'll hear your mom, I don't know why you're so disrespectful. You have to ask this question. Da, da, da. Like, sometimes if I make my mom mad and I'm in my room, I'll hear her downstairs, so lazy, so rude, so disrespectful. Like, so yeah, I do agree. Cutting the head off is true.
Yeah. And also, like Yuna said, if you ask them one thing, it's just like, I'm
Mm.
asking one thing. Let's stick to the one thing. Answer my question. I get my answer, and we all go our separate ways. But then if they don't like it, like Yuna said, it becomes a life lesson. You sat there for hours listening to things from before you were born and after you're off this earth. They're just like, I just asked one question. I'm not asking for anything, you know. And sometimes asking questions does not mean I'm gonna do it. I'll just
Thank you.
acquire knowledge,
Just
you know,
wanted to
like
know.
yes, I just want to know what happens or what is, you know, information about this a specific this thing. But you know, sometimes they take it like, you want to do that? Oh, this is what happens when you do that. And then I was like, I haven't even done the thing. Why am I being punished for something I just asked the question about? You know? But yeah.
Yeah.
Derek.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a little bit older, and I'm still scared to have some conversations with my mom, even though I'm a little bit older. You know, I don't feel I will have had conversations about sex with her. That would just be nothing because
Mm,
it's more of like the ladies were saying, it's the fear of the unknown. You don't know how they would react because based on the prior experience that you had with her and how they reacted previously, saying something else, and you just like, oh man, I don't know how they would react. So I'd rather not go and ask them about it. But yeah, I don't think we are well, we're getting there. Well, we could be better to our parents, but for what I would say is like it's more of a intentional. You have to be intentional about what you want. So for me, I am very intentional about what I want to do for my parents. So I have those conversations with them, even though it might not be what I want to hear, but I just want to have that conversation with them just to hear what they have to say about it. And it pushes you to just get their experience, and you can kind of tailor their experience and make it into your own experience. But to answer your questions, yeah, it's a tough thing in our African community to talk about certain things with our parents. One, because they 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 how they react, like I mentioned before, by method of communication. I mean, I know they mean good things, but because um, they nag, like somebody just said, or they do something else, it sometimes kind of just defers, and we don't want to even have to bother, and we just ask friends or somebody else. Yeah.
wow. This is good. This is good
It
because,
is really good.
as a parent, I'm always skeptical about, you know, how to approach my children on certain topics. I want to be able to talk to them about everything and anything, and I want them to come to me, as the first point of contact if they have any questions, because the misinformation and the misleading that's out there, it's dangerous. So I want to create that environment. So this is helpful to me as a parent with young children to open up that communication, create that safe space for them to come and talk to me. But, y'all are, from where I'm seeing from a distance, it looks like y'all are doing good. So whatever your parents did, it worked and it got you to where
We
you are.
tried. We
So
tried.
they tried, because where we I mean, y'all are at a better dispensation than where we we
We
were.
were. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
some of the things that you all can even bring up to your parents, right? Imagine what we could bring up and what we couldn't bring up. So we literally had to learn on the job. Literally, once you're in it, you figure it out and you know go on. So anybody have anything else that they want to add before we move on
Nana, can
to
you read some comments before we?
the comment section? Has been going. All right. Here, let me see the question first. All right. Okay. So let's answer the question first, and then we can. Do you have? I only have access to YouTube. Do you have access
Okay,
to?
I'll
I
just
mean,
I'll just project
not
them. Let me
YouTube. I have
project it.
Facebook. I have
Let me
Facebook,
project.
not YouTube.
I'm
Okay.
projecting for you.
Are you
Will that
projecting the
help?
question? I think
Yeah.
let's do the question first.
There's a question.
Yes, there's a question here by Amy. She says, "How about women raising sons who may
Okay.
not have fathers in the house? What advice would you give on how to broach certain topics and hold certain conversation?" So I think that can go for like both, like women raising sons,
Yeah.
fathers
And
raising
men raising
daughters.
daughters. Yeah.
Um, so the question is, how about women raising sons who may not have fathers in the house? What advice would you give on how to broach certain topics and hold certain conversations. Anyone wanna?
Derek, you could go ahead since
Yeah,
you're the man with us.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I would say as a woman, um, having maybe people around you, like other men around you, maybe a spiritual father or maybe an uncle or somebody that is around you. It's important to have your son relate to those people, because as a woman, a man cannot really relate to you as much as he can relate to a man. So, an advice I would give you is have strategic people that you know this is a spiritual man of God, and he would give mentorship to my son. He would give advice and counsel to my son. So that is important, because there's certain things you just wouldn't be able to get out of him just being a woman. You need a man to speak certain life into him that he doesn't get when he speaks to his mom. Maybe when he speaks to his mom, he gets the comfort and the love and all the good things. But when he talks to a man or talks to a grown man, he can be able to understand certain things about discipline, understand certain things about being hardworking, about learning how to change a tire or learning how to do certain things. So an advice I would give is have spiritual guidance from a man to be able to handle your sons.
I think that's very good.
So have right people that are probably steered in the right direction, doing well for themselves. And sometimes too, I think we focus on people that are doing so well, but I've come to learn that people that haven't done so well in life now, sometimes they tend to give you good advices in terms of them telling you, their reality, their life
Hmm.
story,
The
teaching you what
experiences, what to do,
yes
what
they've
not to
made.
do.
So at least have people that at least can speak to them in that direction. Mensa, thank you for joining. But who else want to go? Tracy, you
Yeah.
can go ahead, or Eunice want to go. Whoever want to go. Are you two gossiping in the back?
No, I
Y'all
think
can do on, it can be a man
It
raising
doesn't matter.
a daughter, you
okay.
know.
I think
Yeah.
Tracy should answer this because she's been around. She has two big brothers, and she lives with all of them, and she lives with her dad. So I think that's a perfect question for Miss Tracy.
For me, moving to the States and not having like my mom be here physically and just having my dad be, both parents, mom and dad, there were certain things that, I didn't feel comfortable going to him as because he's a man, but the top, I feel like he did, my dad had like female, friends that, you're older, they've gone through stuff. For example, the Lady Mary mentioned menses, going through your menses, my first menses or whatever it is. I didn't know when it happened. I was freaking out. I had never had a conversation about that.
You're probably so scared to even tell your dad about it.
Yes, yes. I just, cause it happened. It was like, I think it happened. I went to bed and I saw it. But I was like, don't tell nobody, because what is this? So I woke up in the morning and it was Bud and we're just the same story as you did, you had, and I was freaking out. It was a lot, so I had to tell somebody. So I told my brothers, I trusted them more, I was scared of my dad, so I trusted them more a little bit. And just like, oh, it's normal, and then they told my dad, whatever it is. And I think it was also a little awkward for my dad, because he's just like, oh, okay, what do I do from here? He told me a little bit that he knows about it, but I think obviously he could also tell that I would feel more comfortable if I had a woman telling me. So
Yeah.
that's when he reached out to my aunties and stuff, like, oh, can you guys please help Tracy? She's becoming a woman, so please help her, guide her. And I feel like, yeah, it's the same thing, having someone who's been through whatever, or is in the same boat as your child. Tell them, their experiences, what they've been through, their advice and stuff like that, if you don't feel comfortable talking to them about it. But yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, that's true. Miss Amy responded to her own question. She said she asked because um, she said I asked because I thank God I am able to tell my sons, go talk to your dad, while I'm comfortable talking about anything with my daughter. I don't feel the same with my sons, which is very true. I mean, for me, I think Really, I don't mind. Sometimes it might be embarrassing for the boys, but we do what we can. I say it. Even if you, I will. I will. I will address all topics. It doesn't matter, except for having to like touch them, to like show them stuff. Anything else, I'll do it. I'm not the person that say, go talk to your dad, or if you bring it to me, we're talking about it. And I think that, well, I'm trying to create that environment where they are comfortable. So sometimes we may have to like make it a little bit comical, and joke around with it, but still getting the serious conversations, in there. So it is very important that we talked about parents, like single home parents, and trying to be the opposite sex, women raising sons and trying to play the role of fathers, as well as fathers doing the same thing last month. And yeah, we can try, but at the end of the day, experience is the greatest teacher. You can't really, teach something that you have not, well, you can teach, but you can't teach it as well as someone that have actually experienced it. So yes, that's very important. Reading some of the comments here.
Then I
Um,
have there's a comment on WhatsApp that I want to read. It says that
but
great conversation tonight. I have teenagers and young adults, and I'm glad to be tuning in. It says, can you ask them about college decisions? How about them making their decision on which colleges to attend and which courses they wanted to take? How did they go about it? I have young ones that would soon be coming out of high school. How was that conversation like with their parents?
Can I take that first?
Mm-hmm.
No, I will say that in high school, my mom was very, 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 she still is. She's very supportive on anything that I want to do. She's just, as long as you go to school, you're okay. Even if I wanted to go to school for ballet, I think she would be supportive. If I wanted
she
to go
just
and
wants you to go to school.
exactly. So another thing parents tend to do, you have to do a nurse, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be a doctor. If they can't do it, they can't do it. It's not even about can't do it, but if that's not what the person desires, please stop forcing your child to do it. um when I was in school, high school, a lot of people were like, oh, you should go to school for nursing, you should go to school to be a doctor, oh, you should do this. I knew I wasn't going to go to school for being a doctor because I can't be a doctor. Like, that's not where my heart is. I like children. I like working with children. And so that's why I'm going to school, to help children and to help them get better. So parents, please stop forcing your children to do something they don't want to do. If they want to be a firefighter, let them be a firefighter. It's not always law, medical school, and nursing. Please. Yeah.
Tracy, you want to come in before Derek?
I will say, same thing, like to add on to what Eunice said, there is a lot of careers out there, but I feel like, African parents have this.
Today, African parents are in so much
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
African parents, please.
Because you brought the African children, so that's what you get.
But they have, like Eunice said, growing up, I heard doctor, lawyer, or engineer. Those are the only three
Hmm.
things I heard growing up. But I got to high school. I'm like, I'm not interested in none of those things. Like, I don't. It's not anywhere. I don't see myself in there. It's not my desire, and so I struggled a little bit. But thankfully my dad was supportive when I told him I don't want to do that. Obviously he did try to convince me. I remember even after I started college, he sent me videos of people in that career field saying how amazing their life is. I'm like, Dad, I thought you supported me. He's like, oh, I support you, but just still listen to what they're saying. I'm
A little
like,
push.
okay, yeah, a little push, but he's supportive of what I'm doing. But I do understand why they do want us to go towards career paths like that, because those do provide us financial stability, and they're stable jobs. They're with a job like that, I feel like, I'm not saying life will be easy, but you won't have a lot to worry about. You won't have a lot to stress about. You have a stable income, you have a stable job. It will help with stability in your life. These days, I think, we see, I have a lot of people that, graduated with like arts degree and stuff like that. And they came on TikTok complaining, I can't find a job. I have 3 degrees in art and stuff like that. And then people are saying you're majoring in hobbies, not actual things that can, you
You
know?
went to school to major in a hobby.
Yes. And I was like, that's actually, it makes sense. You can have a passion for something. You want to do, like you said, violin or whatever it is. You want to do that. Go ahead. But also, you can like major in something that'll give you
Be
good money and
realistic.
double minor. And
Realistic, yeah.
yeah. Or double, just give yourself a plan B in case your dream to be a
Mm-hmm.
rapper
Yeah.
does not take off. You
Hey,
like
a little drippy.
but that's hard to say.
There.
Yeah. What advice I would give is foundation. When your child is probably, well, we call it primary school, like grade school, just have a good foundation. Make sure they're learning how to count properly. Make sure they're learning what the 1, 2, 3s are, because foundation is really what it is in college. If you don't have a strong foundation, you're not really gonna make it as good as you want it to be. You're gonna find yourself learning algebra 1 and you're supposed to be doing calculus because you don't have a good foundation. So one advice is make sure your child has a good foundation. Make sure they're studying hard when they're in high school, and make sure they're understanding the concept, because when they understand the concept they can be able to kind of just know what they want or what they like. If they don't have a good foundation, they will go to college and it'll be hard for them to even go through with anything because
Mm.
they don't know what it is. They didn't spend the time to learn it. So I would say, spend time, make sure your child is really learning in the school. A lot of people just go to school and just come back home, just do the homework from ChatGPT, and that's it. But if you spend
Wait.
spend time and actually learning the concept, it becomes easier when you get older and you want to
Have an
do something.
understanding. Mm-hmm.
You have an understanding of what it is that you want to do. So for me, I thank God my parents really, I mean, they kind of influenced me in going to the engineering field because from when I was young, they just pumped science, 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 just like the doctor, engineering, and lawyer. They pumped it. But when I got to college, it became easier for me to just understand things because I had a good foundation. For some other people, it was a little harder for them because they didn't have a good foundation. So foundation is one, and like my lady said, you have to make them to understand what they actually like. You can go into something and you just graduate from it. You have a good foundation, but you don't like it, and you end up just not even doing good at the workplace because you're not. If you're a
Mm-hmm. That's
nurse,
awesome.
you
Yep.
don't care about the people because you don't have that trait in you. You're not a caring person. Or if you're an engineer, you're not diligent in anything. You're designing something that's going to fail. Whatever it is that you're going to do, you have to make sure you tailor the skill sets of
The
your
passion
child
for it.
so that it can be able to be prosperous in whatever they do. So
Mm-hmm.
if you know your child is good in caring, just start cultivating that habit of teaching them how to care for somebody, teaching them how to do this. If your child is good in baking, just take them to baking school, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be doctor, lawyer, and engineer. It could be something small as a cook. Those things they make money. Trust me, African parents, they make money. We're in America, we're not in Africa. So these things are
Even in Africa, they're making big money
yes,
Big
nowadays.
yes.
money.
Big money.
Whatever it is.
Now fashion designers in Africa, yeah,
Yeah,
quoting that one.
exactly. I was just about to say, tailoring. If you see your
Yeah.
child likes to do that, make sure that you spend time and invest in that type of thing for your child. So that number one, I just said, make sure they have a good foundation in education, whatever it is. Education is number one, and make sure they have a passion of what they want to do and invest in that passion.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that, when Eunice was talking, she stated that, her mom wanted her to go to school. It didn't matter what you went to school to do, but go to school. So I want to ask Lady Mary, why that though? Why go to school? Doesn't matter
So
what you do, but go to school.
so like Derek said, education is really important, right? You have to have the fundamentals. Now, let's say if Eunice came to me and said, I know, so she did ballet when she was young, right? Now I know very well that ballet is not. I know people that are doing amazing, gymnastics and things like that. If
It
she
wasn't.
came,
It wasn't unique.
yeah, if she came to me and said, I want to go and major in that, I would probably have asked her questions as to why she wants to go into that. So this is my belief. My belief is that go to school, but when you're going to school, go for something that you're passionate about.
Okay, not
So
just go to school, but do something that you're passionate about.
yes, so, yeah, exactly. So all my life, Nana, I sat at JP Morgan Chase for 19 years.
Mm.
Banking is not for me. So like you, Nana, you're into business. Banking is not for me. From childhood, I always knew that I love to help the needy. I love to help women. I just love to assist people. I love to research, and find information for people within my community. Does that make sense? So then I'm like, you know what? This banking thing is not for me. I did my research. Then I found that, woo, I can do human services, health and human services that can actually lead me to where wanting to become like a mental health, whatever it is that I want to be, a counselor. Then that is the reason why I went back to school. So I embarked on that journey so that I can have the certification that is backing me. Though I was doing all of these things for years, but I wanted to get my hands on a certificate that. So my thing is, have a passion for what you're doing. Because Derek said, and I think Tracy said the same thing. There are people that are in the nursing field, banana, they are constantly not happy,
Oh,
always
I know.
nagging.
I would have been one of them.
Yes. So people are in field just because of the money. And though you may be making the money all the money you want, but you may not be happy.
You're
So my
miserable.
thing is, yes. So my thing is, what is the essence of going to school to become a
Mm-hmm.
nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, when you know that you're not passionate about it?
Mm.
I always say that there are some teachers, Nana, they are not making so much money, but guess what? Before the weekend, they are already preparing the next week's lessons for their kids.
Yeah.
That they
Yeah.
are born with it. They are passionate about it. And when you're passionate about it, you do it with your whole self. You come out of your whole self and do it. So that is my point of view when I say I'll support her with whatever. So
Okay.
I hope that
So,
makes sense.
because the conclusion that I was trying to get to, you know how when Derek was saying that there are professions that you basically don't need a college degree for, right?
It's true.
But and I'm bringing it home to Africans because that's what I know. So I can only speak to my community. Africans, we have the mentality that you have to go to school, right? It doesn't matter what you go to school to do, right? A lot of the times we're pushing you to go be something that you probably cannot be,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, go to school. So there are people spending so much money in school and lost because that's not where they're supposed to be. So what I want us to understand as parents, and y'all, if it's your desire, will be parents one day. So as we're doing for you guys can do better for your generation. It's important to sit down and have a conversation as you are raising that child from infancy all the way to adulthood. Get to know them. What are they good at? What is their passion? I don't know who said it, but somebody said that, if you love what you do, you will never have to work a day in your life, right? Ask those questions. Let it be important to you to know the desires of your children and what they are good at so that you can cultivate that and nourish that and help them, right? When I think back, for me, I probably didn't need like straight college degree plus graduate degree to do what I'm doing now. I may have needed it eventually, but if I was to do it over again, I would have probably straight out of high school found a job that I can do with a high school degree, right? And take classes on in that area on maybe a part-time base and have that company pay for my education while I just take my time and get the degree. So by the time I have that first degree, I can get a position that is worth my degree. Because what we do is we just go to school and we go and we go and we go. By the time you get out of school, you have no experience, but you have a certificate. Nobody's going to hire you based on your certificate. They hire based on experience. And that's what I'm trying to drill in the
Yeah.
head, your generation.
Yeah.
As you are in school, get experience in whatever field you're going to school in. Do your internships, do your volunteering, do those part-time jobs in those fields. Don't just go do a random job to get money. Make
Yeah.
sure it's in something that you are interested in growing in,
Yeah.
right? A lot of companies pay for your education. You
Yeah.
don't need to get those loans. They will do it.
Yeah.
So let's get to the point of knowing the resources that are around us, that can help us succeed and be better citizens, be better people for yourself. Because you go to school, you have like, after you're done, you have like a $50,000 loan in education, but you come back making like 30,000. What kind of sense does that make? It doesn't really make sense, but there are so many ways that you don't have to do that and get to that same conclusion,
Yeah.
get to that same result,
Yeah.
right? So please talk to your children, learn them. We have at least 18 years to get to know them and to see where they can really be successful at. It's not all just go to
Yeah.
school, just go to school, right? All right. Thank
So
you.
so speaking to that, as I said, I've always loved helping people. I know when Eunice was younger, if she remembers, I would literally pull them in the car and drive around just to go feed the homeless.
Tracy
I mean,
remembers. Don't forget.
yes, Tracy. Mm-hmm. We'll go feed the homeless. We'll go downtown. Listen, we'll go buy pizza, try to give them whatever it is. So I've always been passionate about it. So even with this current job that I'm doing, the experience that I used was my nonprofit, because I had done this community engagement thing on my own. I just did not at that time have had a certificate to back it. So when I got the certificate and I went to look for the job, the experience was right there, you know.
You could
And
back
so
it up.
even
You
yes,
are
to
not
back it
coming
up.
in new.
Yes, exactly. And now, whilst I'm there trying to utilize their resources to see if I can finish up this master's, and then they're paying for it, tuition reimbursement. So I think that the part with the being in debt, I think that is killing, is doing so much to the youth. And so, yes, support them where they need be, but I prefer that you go to school for what you're really passionate about, because then once you're passionate about something, I mean, you can't lose it, versus being so being all about the money, the money, the money, the money.
Yeah.
Because you will get the money, but you might not necessarily be happy. And so, like you said, parents should have realistic conversations with our children. Mama said that if you're her child, she would definitely support you with whatever it is you're passionate about. Go through school, but if you come out telling her that you don't want to do that anymore, or you're no longer passionate about it, you're gonna have it. So just an FYI. And someone asked the question and how does one know what they are passionate in to pursue it? Nana, you
How
want to
does one
come?
know what they're passionate in to pursue it? What are
So
you
if I
interested
am,
in?
say that again.
Like, I said, what are you interested in? Passion starts
Yeah,
with
so I was
interest.
gonna say that. Yes, I was gonna say that what you're interested in. So, like I said, I stayed at Chase all these years, literally 19 years of my life. And then I realized that no, this is not me, because since the age of maybe 16, I realized that I love helping people. This is every time, Nana, literally, I would even take Joel, the younger ones, in the car, find myself going to KFC, trying to make deals with them to get meals to go just to pass it out to the homeless.
Mm.
So definitely, as you're growing, there's something, there's a desire or there's a drive, within you And I think that is what people should focus on. So like for Joel loved to work with his hands. Literally, this little kid he can draw, he can build things in just a matter of minutes. So at least we are paying attention to that.
Mm.
So I don't know if that makes sense to you. Pay attention to the little things, or the things that your children are really interested in as they're growing up, and I believe that you can figure that out
Yeah.
from there.
Like here and there, you will see them. There's something that always draw their attention.
Hmm.
And even you can just ask them, what do you like? What do you like to do? What do you want to do when you grow? Children don't put a lot of thought into like what what is like will be giving them more money, or they're not at this stage, they're not really thinking about those things. So this is the stage that when you ask them, what do you like to do, what would you like to do when you grow up, they will talk about something that they are interested in, right? Because they're not worried about how much it pays. Somebody can say,
Yeah.
I want to be, I think my older son back in daycare, when they were doing like the preschool graduation or something, they asked him what he wanted to do. He said he wanted to be a race truck driver or something like that. And I'm like, what? you know, but that's, and up to now, like there's nothing that has never even been a thing in his mind. Like he doesn't even watch like racing or anything. But that's what, to me, I was like, is this something that he's interested in? But as he grew up, I saw that it was just somebody was saying it, and it probably kind of like, he heard and he said, let me say it
Okay.
too. And he
Yeah.
said it too, right?
Yeah.
But as you are around your children, right, you just talk to them, have little conversations, the things that they're doing. If they like Mary said, if they are doodling, they're drawing, every time they get on the TV, there's something that they want to watch, their attention is drawn to like specific fields from different things, and if you're an adult and you're still trying to find something that you're passionate about, what I would say is that thing that you do effortlessly, that it does not feel like work to you. If you're waking up every day, going to your 9 to 5 or your 12 to 12 or whatever job it is, and you are literally like crying that you don't want to go, that's not your passion. That's not for you. It's either that work environment, you need to leave that work
So it's it.
environment, or you just need to leave that field.
Yeah.
It's not,
I
because
love
you
that.
shouldn't be like Mondays. Yeah, you want to continue your weekend, but you shouldn't be crying while you're going to work.
Yeah. You should be excited. Like I said,
Yeah.
you should even be thinking about what you're going to do before the week gets started. We're going to take our final words, but we want to say that thank you so much to everyone that tuned in. We appreciate you, all those on Facebook and on YouTube. If you came late, please stay and rewatch this episode. But we want to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will take our final words from our guest for today. We'll be right back.
Yo, yo, yo. Now your matter when you talk. Your life, your wahala, your breakthrough, idea. Welcome to the chat room. This no be ordinary place. Now a solution, they show face. Lady Mary, they lead the way. With guess where go blow your brain. Talk your matter, make we solve them. No judgment, just love and wisdom. We did discuss, we did learn. Every episode you gon' feel the burn. Oh, the chat room. Now here we define the way. Oh, the chat room. Oh yes. We go talk and clear, no delay. No delay. Oh, it's interactive, educative, informative, and unapologetic. Oh, the chat room. We unstoppable, no be lie. You, hey,
Thank you, everyone. We're gonna take our final words, and Derek, we wanna start with Tracy. So, Derek, if do you wanna, you can excuse yourself if you want to, though, or you wanna go ahead. You wanna start?
No, she can go ahead.
Okay, Tracy, go ahead.
Can you please repeat the question?
Oh no, I was saying that we're gonna take our final words from you all. Final words on everything we've discussed. Or Danaya, do you want to make it a
Like
question?
takeaways. Okay, let me say this: if you were to advise your younger self,
Can we?
what
Can
would
we?
you? One thing
Okay.
you would tell your younger self to kind of close out
I would tell my younger self, listen to your parents.
that
Sometimes,
part.
yeah, listen to them. They're how do I say how they say things. It might sound stop bothering me, but their intent behind it is always good. And you know, just I don't know. Just listen. That's all I can say. Listen to our parents because they know better. They've been through it. Anything. They've been your age before. They've been through it. They've done that. They've been there. So just listen to them.
They
And
mean well.
yeah, they know better. But yeah, and also for parents, African parents, please, please, please try your best to listen to your children as well. The same way child listen to them as well. Make yourself available to them and make them feel safe to come to you to talk to you. Um, and yeah, that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Derek, you want to come in? And then Eunice will end with us.
Takeaways is one thing I would say maybe to the young people is have the spirit of diligence and have the spirit of excellence. Whatever you do, make sure you're doing it well. Don't do it just halfway. Make sure you're putting your all into it. And if you're doing it, do it with excellence too. If you're in school, um, I know ChatGPT is a good thing. It should be helping us, but make sure you're actually studying hard and you're understanding what you're doing. Um, and one last thing is have God, but let God be the center of everything that you do. Let God be everything that you do. Make God the center of it. And to our African parents, um, encourage your kid, your child. Encourage them and make sure you give them the opportunity to grow. We were just talking about what you're passionate about, but sometimes your child can be passionate about talking. I have a young cousin and he talks a lot. Oh my God, he talks too much. Sometimes you go out with him and it's like, keep your mouth shut. But that's him. That's who he is, and you have to allow him to kind of be himself while trying to train him to kind of cultivate a better habit of controlling how he talks. So there are things that you may see in your kid or you may see that might not be, what you're used to. But always, read more and try to understand how you can cultivate whatever it is. It might be he likes reading a lot. Whatever it is that he does or whatever that she does, try to cultivate it and you can see that he would grow or she would grow to become the person that God wants them to be. So yeah, those are my final words that I have.
Thank you, Eunice.
Um, Key takeaways. I would say parents, please let's try gentle parenting so that your child is more open to, coming to you with certain things. I know that it may not work all the time, but at least give it a try. Because when my mom started being gentle and stopped hitting me, that's when our friendship and relationship took off.
Oh Lord,
So,
have mercy.
yeah. And then another thing, like how Auntie Nanaya said, pay attention to what your child likes to do. Um, yeah, I always liked kids. I love my siblings, even though they can be a lot. They can be a lot. Yeah, I like kids, and so God willing, when I'm done with school, that's exactly where I'm going, straight to a children's hospital. No shame in my game. And yeah, that's what I was able to take away.
Okay, well, thank you guys all so much for joining us today. I think we've had a very great conversation. I can't wait to see what next week and the following week and the last. So what we're doing is that on the last Sunday of the month, we are all gonna join in together. Like everyone that's come on here, we all come in and then we talk.
Oh, it's gonna be a big room.
Yep. So that's
Let's keep 2 hours or 2 hours and 30 minutes for that day.
yeah. So yeah, we'll make time for it. Nanaya, anything you want to say before we end?
I think they've said it all. It's been a great conversation, and I've learned something. So I hope that it was insightful and a learning experience for everyone that's watching as well.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Share, share, share. And if you haven't followed, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and so that you'll be able to have access to all of our amazing sessions here, right here in the chat room. God bless you all so much. See you
And
next
join
week.
us next week.
Yeah.
Yo, yo, yo. Now your matter with the talk. Your life, your wahala, your breakthrough, idea. Welcome to the chat room. This no be ordinary place. Now a solution, they show face. Lady Mary, they lead the way. With guess where go blow your brain. Talk your matter, make we solve 'em. No judgment, just love and wisdom. We they discuss, we they learn. Every episode you gon' feel the burn. Oh, the chat room. Now here we define the way. Oh, the chat room. Oh yes, we go talk and clear, no delay. No delay. Oh, it's interactive, educative, informative, and unapologetic. Oh, the chat room.